I had my time in playing against all of the current House of Chaos players that were available to me at those times from the online tournament that had happened through the past 2-3 weeks. I didn't get a chance to play in the tournament themselves that were hosted by either Bum or CaliMac at the time, due to a lack of money or a PayPal in which to play, but I did stay tuned to learn what I needed to learn about my characters. While there's not many base Goku players generally abundant compared to base Vegeta, I see them here and there, and I try to apply or swipe whatever tech I can and apply it in my own sense in my own time. That's more than what was there last season in Season 2, so studying tech is honestly touch and go with each team arrangement or with each get-together that HOC has that I'm invited to or that I'm able to be invited to. Also, thank you, CaliMac, Rakushin, Scamby, thank you for getting me in some of the back doors here with some of these things. I appreciate it greatly. That way I can try and soak in as much as I can. And then eventually, who knows, maybe in time I can probably also be out there in the tournaments alongside you guys or against you guys one day. And I can be fighting the best of the best alongside you guys. Through that sole experience, I encountered a number of pending HOC affiliate gamers and strong players, all the same in many one-sided games. So few of them were very close games in a win or a loss. The ones that I was able to win, I'm very grateful for, and I was able to see that most of my training with Snowman and some of our friends had paid off to some degree, and all of the ones that I did lose, which was probably the majority of them, I can also try and take something from that and learn as I go. I know that the more I keep applying myself, the harder the totem pull is going to get, and so I have to be ready at all times for just about any type of match that's more than likely going to come my way, because it's only going to get harder from here, as you would naturally expect. Through the weekly practice, not only was I able to secure Super Saiyan 3 rankings, but I also found a greater good in achieving Pink Square this week. And we went from being yellow to holding a pretty good deal of orange all the time, and then just being orange all the time now, finally. And now briefly caressing the embrace of pink. Overall, I feel that's a win-win-win. All I honestly wanted was just orange square, and I ended up getting a hell of a lot more than that I didn't think I'd get. And so I just ended up going ahead and changing my name in order to commemorate the achievement, and then continuing on to the matches as I go. For those of you out there curious as to why I change my name every time I get to Pink Square, it's for a personal sense of achievement, but I only do that with my FGC name. So, in real talk here, my initial name that I had on FGC when I first came here was just Rodimus. But I didn't really make it known that I was a YouTuber at that time because it wasn't a big deal. Nobody cared that I was a YouTuber for something that's totally irrelevant to Dragon Ball Z or to the fighting game community in general. So it wouldn't do me any good. It would just make me more of a target than I already would be for being a green square at that time. It was just rather generic, just calling myself just Rodimus. To me, it was unoriginal because anyone comes up with a name like that, or I could also just go like Rod FGC or some shit. But again, that's even more unoriginal because anyone can come up with a name, then pop FGC after it, boom, you're in the scene. I went one step further, so I have my own identity even further, and so you know it's me when I'm in lobbies or when I'm on streams. I have a little clout in DBFZ's community, so it's only the main Twitch streamers that know it's me before anybody else because they're on my friends list, so they have an idea on when I change my name on the FGC thing, and when I come into lobbies, they always screen whoever comes into lobbies. I play the game mainly just to reach orange. That's my goal in going in. That's my whole goal and why I'm still playing. There's more to it than that, but this is just simply stated for now. And so when I got the pink, it's just like, okay, I have to worry because, alright, oddly skilled people will appear randomly or try and just target me in general for being a newer pink in order to establish dominance, or attempt to. I asked for an idea from my community and a lot of votes to see if they could be more involved in my work in Dragon Ball Z since I'm not doing Transformers anymore. But, like, they asked to be included, but many don't care either way, so I don't care either way at that point in order to continue including them. I'll just do whatever I do, and you'll either know or you won't know, or you'll just know after the fact. It's hundreds of people, yes, which I guess is okay, but they're still kind of supporting me, kind of not supporting me where I'm going next. And I'm happy for that. They stay subscribed. A few people subscribe here and there in order to still see what I'm doing or keep up with the old times, and that's all well and fine. But here in Destiny is my work now. Anyway, I'm getting off topic from the point. So after I made my poll, and nobody really contributed to it because they didn't care either way, in order to help contribute to more ideas, to help keep something going, keep something fresh in my adventures here in Dragon Ball Z, I decided to just go on ahead and just go ahead with what I felt I wanted to do, since no one else wanted to contribute it, so it'll just be my input alone. So every time I reach Pink Square, the highest form of the threat level, I change my FGC screen name to be in the cheeks of a different potential waifu, within reason. This way it also helps the thirst level go away at some times, so I don't stay, well, honestly thinking about women's goodies all the time. I decided to embrace it since I think about it enough, and be creative with it to a checkpoint. That way it helps a focus point along in something a lot more constructive. And if I think back on how many times I changed my name, it's also linked with how many times I reached Pink Square. So it's like achieving greatness within greatness, which is always good. And that's the bigger picture that I want for me. It celebrates a hard milestone in good reflection, in order to solidify the current bridge I have, as well as to solidify the next bridge coming, so I'm not caught off guard by simple things likely still happening, and therefore can begin training for spotting better ways to improve myself. I see more of what I need to do, or rather what I'm not doing, that is slowly becoming more of a problem to tackle or to work around in continued combat. It's best that I take time to learn this now rather than later, when it's a bigger problem that costs me more games I should be on even footing with, or potentially even winning in that sense. Time can gradually be set aside or sorted through these factors when I can actually do them and not shortcut myself. I go through the trouble now in order to try and give myself somewhat of a very good competitive milestone right here to go over everything before I take my time away from playing Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 competitively, so I can finish off a lot of my matches right now that I have currently on the books and booked that I said I would get to and have not gotten to just yet. I have time to get to them all, and I also have time to wrap this up all in one package through the week. So, to go over this also, the key point I need to look into is, for one, I need to start with better recognition of standard block strings and keep my blocks steady, which is one thing I need to pick back up once I get back into this. I need to integrate those vague mix-ups and 50-50s where the formula changes on both ends. Understanding when it's okay in recognizable situations and general repetition of block strings to a degree to be able to mash or outmash the enemy as the attacker, placing my attacks with the correct pressure, timed assists more effectively, and not so close in my attacks to close gaps between moves. Then I want to see if I want to mix repetition as well as the formula of the repetition. For instance, the way in which you do attack, so it's not the same A, B, C, D, E, but you want to try and mix this up into different ways to give yourself, like mixing up your combos. That way it's a lot harder for your enemy to tell what you're doing next, while still doing the same general thing you were just doing. When learning block strings, think very carefully about how you want to press the buttons, and how to mix up your button presses, that way it doesn't become the same exact string like what it just was. Think in variables of A, B, C, D, E, and then an assist, or a delay input, or block, or like baiting a block, or using a special when you do the quarter circle forward, or quarter circle back, or an EX change, or something different than just pushing the same repetitious buttons than what you have. Take time to learn the whole combo and then figure out different ways to do the same combo to get it the same opening, but it's done in a different way or in a different order. For instance, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, A, B, A, delay, A, in order to bait, A, D, E, A, B, possible D, A, B, assist, C, D, E, A, assist, B, then wait, A, wait, A, B, assist, C, D, E, A, assist, B, D, E, delay, or just wait, A, B, assist, C, A, B, assist, D, assist, or you might try and grab them, drag and rush, however it may be, or whatever the term that it is called, A, C, D, assist, then wait, or C, D, space, assist, and A. Something that would do the same process in opening up the enemy, but is done at a different time to mix up the formula to know when a correct mash may or may not happen. It's not always guessed correctly, but the process is to make yourself have as much of the opportunity on the table as you can to mash or to try a different combination. As the defender, you're spotting the correct guard canceling moments or mash moments for where you can punish an unsafe move. An unsafe move is what is not covered by an assist to close that gap. As the defender, you're watching for openings and gauging the chances of a successful mash with pending risk for the reward of doing so and reversing pressure in one's favor. Training is the key, thus it won't feel weird or wonky whenever the situations come up and you miss opportunities. Base Goku Team Synergy. This is important as I continue expanding my team ideology in the ways of Kaioken. I've had a total of about 12 to 13 teams in total, but I've actually had 11 successful teams out of that. There's only about a couple of them that were honestly shit teams. But as I improve my knowledge on how to use the character and play the game, I could honestly probably revamp those teams and try them out again with a different head on my shoulders or a different way to approach neutral and approach combos and synergy with that. Anyway, these are the number of teams that I've had so far through my run of the game since I picked up Base Goku from having dropped Yamcha back in Season 1. I stayed creating new ideas each go-round with that main character till I came upon my main team of the Gogeta Goku Black Base Goku that I'd generally been using, that was a solid base team to use and apply to all of his strengths and weaknesses and have a proper situation for everybody, properly train each character to my standings at that point, to the best of my capabilities, ever growing, and use them that I've stuck with for a good while now. Also, yes, I make a personal note of every base Goku team that I ever created, just in case I can apply the same knowledge and or tech that I learned from that team at a different point in time in the future. It always pays to have it on the books. I have my first team, Team 1, that I ever created. That was the Videl Goku Black Base Goku. The Blue Goku Goku Black Base Goku. Number 3, the Blue Vegeta Goku Black Base Goku. Team number 4, the Beerus Goku Black Base Goku. Team 5, Cell Goku Black Base Goku. 6, Team Gohan Base Goku Goku Black. Number 7, my team now, the Gogeta Base Goku Goku Black. Number 8, which was a scrapped one, that's the Gotenks Base Goku and Tien. Number 9, the Kefla team, the Kefla Goku Black Base Goku, that was a scrap team. Team 10, which was my side B team that I used from time to time as well, that was the Trunks Broly Z and Base Goku team. Team 11, the Gotenks Base Goku Z Broly. Team number 12, that's the Kill Sages inspired team, that's Team Gohan, Z Broly, and Base Goku. And Team 13 is a trial run team. There's Android 21, Base Goku, and Goku Black. I reintroduced some past characters that I was originally using, but I scrapped due to lack of knowledge. I went on ahead and tried them on the books again for newer teams. So, for instance, I used Team 14 for reintroducing Beerus with Base Goku and now Gogeta over using Goku Black. Team number 15, which is a current test team I'm also field running on the streams for Ride, FGC, and Anti-Venom. This is Android 18, Gotenks, and Base Goku. And then team number 16, that is comprised of Zamasu, Base Goku, and Goku Black, but I'm going to interchange that and have Goku Black be secondary, Base Goku anchor. There's a lot of great and prosperous ideas that came out of many different varied teams throughout the year that I've applied outside my basic primary team, which is the number 7 listing as you saw before, previously aforementioned, of the Gogeta, Goku Black, Base Goku. Regarding that team, while there have been issues revolving around better management of the team, which have been dealt with as it does get harder to stay making creativity, now that I was able to settle upon an actual genuine point character with my initial formula of the base Goku Black shell, and that was Gogeta, I found him to be a very nice point character and versatile character at that can work around the mobility of the other two. Stuck to him, potentially optimized him to much of my own routes, and understood some of his routes that he can do to some degree, and was able to make a fairly good investment of time to him. Originally, I honestly thought Gogeta was trash, and then the more I got to use him, the less trash he became that I could actually apply in my own right to my teams and the way that I like to play the game. And honestly, in Season 3, it seems to be getting harder to actually use Gogeta as he is supposed to be used. So I have to keep mixing it up and thinking of different ways to apply him. But anyway, using him, it has gotten me further into Super Saiyan 3 ranking, so I'm not complaining there, as it's proven to be an effectively successful circuit addition to the circuit of my team. So I can't complain there. For all intents and purposes, adding Gogeta was a really good point. That said, however, after spending so much time to master this team for months and months on end in my own way, and still is adapting to, as suboptimally as it might be, there are occasional thoughts of dropping Gogeta or possibly dropping Goku Black, as there are vague hollow points in neutral for this team that I see occasionally exposed through rank against a lot of aggressive jackasses or mashers and shit. If they weren't so uncommon, I'd probably see Majin right now, but the struggle does continue for a reason to patch up the holes still present. Should the weak link be seen to, I'm still at a loss to figure out what characters can or could honestly replace either of them. I have no idea what, and I'd rather not mess that team synergy up if I can help it. So staying labbing the team is a good effective tactic in order to stay on top of changing neutral that the team will encounter with all the different teams out there. The effectiveness of this team stays changing along with my mindset due to constant irregularities of facing the net play when you fight either mashers that stay pressing buttons on wake up, run up 5L, 6M, assist 6M, whatever the fuck, or just quit literally when they're losing or about to lose. And it just keeps repeating the process, and you keep losing more progress than you're gaining. So the only way to honestly work around this that I'm thinking of, I don't know. Another idea I'm honestly considering for temporary use is to just create the most toxic or ignorant base Goku team I can think of that I can create, so I can run rank, blow through all the competition to get straight to Majin, leave it there and not give a fuck until I care to go higher than Majin, which, if I'm not mistaken, after Majin is Super Saiyan God. The general focus right now is Majin, so I'd rather keep it at that. That way, in my own interest, it tells other people, okay, I took the time to invest a heavily large amount of time into a competitive focus. Why worry about rank? Well, I personally don't want to care about rank, but in the bigger picture of what I want to do for myself in this community, fighting opponents and fighting Twitch streamers on the platform, making my content, trying to build whatever it is I can in form of a platform, being taken seriously in some regard, rather than being judged for having a lesser rank than most for what I can clearly do, I need to bring up my rank, so it can stop being assumed visually that I can't do all these things just because I'm not the Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue or even Living Legend like countless others. I don't give a fuck about striving that high, as there's nothing to gain from going so far other than added frustration in knowing the matchups, knowing the maps with the matchups, pending lag or net play, or else just dealing with likely further quitters wanting to maintain a fake-ass status that they should have lost a long time ago. I don't have the patience to play that manner of competitive gameplay for longer hours online than I already do just to endure cancerous, ignorant mashers or game-quitting pussies that can't understand losing when they don't get their way. It's kinda redundant after a while. This season, it's not worth the headache. The only good thing about all these negative experiences that seem to mount up this season over top of the positives from the time before is the experiences, success or fail, I get the experience I need to do better in the next coming online trials to be announced. As much as I want to believe that I'm good or really good right now, it's nothing right now. It's still shit as far as I'm concerned in the bigger picture, because of the point in all this progress that's acquired up to now isn't fully being achieved when the chips are down all the time, and that's what bothers me. Another good point about taking this PvP break is that I can have a general reset in my approach to continued gameplay without overthinking shit or being exposed excessively to the constant, continual, repetitious, toxic elements that seem to keep repeating themselves, characters and players alike. I'll be back when I'll be back. Also, last piece of business. For those looking for the story behind why I'm slowly known throughout the streaming scene of the fighting game community here in Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'll be disclosing it on a close friends live stream later on this weekend, as I was given a panel there to speak on about my recent experiences in a new land, being this gameplay so far for the past year-ish, almost 2 years about. Basically 2 years. I'll disclose there as opposed to other welcoming FGC streams in their own way, since apparently I talk too much to read anything I post when I answer a question that was asked or that your following had asked me. If you can't or won't read it at all, that's not my problem. Yet I'm to be muted temporarily or timed because you don't want to read all that on screen. It's not really for you to read, it's for you to take a part in and read if you choose to, but it's for your following to read since they initially asked the question. Shorten it down my ass. I type fully to express my thinking and so that I'm not misunderstood in my logic stated or stories told. I don't shorten shit down for anybody. You either hear everything I say or you read it, or you don't hear me out at all and go on about your way. Last time I checked, your following is a part of you too and your foundation to what you have, you selfish illiterates. So if they ask something, is it so hard to answer a simple question on stream? Think about it. That said, I'm out for a time after tonight's training session. Disney Plus awaits. So, to all are one.